You've probably seen it before. That bottle in the fridge aisle, dark red, rich in color, maybe even a little intimidating. You may have passed it without thinking. Or maybe you tried it once, grimaced at the earthy taste, and never picked it up again. But what if I told you that this humble juice, this deep red drink, has the power to do something pills have tried and failed to deliver? Not just energy. Not just circulation. But something more intimate. More personal. A return of blood flow to the places that matter. A sense of waking up not just in your mind, but in your body. A quiet fire, reignited, that says, I'm still here. I'm not talking about a miracle. I'm talking about a mechanism. A signal your body used to send naturally, and how this juice helps bring it back. Men across the country, men over 60, are rediscovering something they thought they had lost: responsiveness, vitality, and presence. Not from a drug. Not from a stimulant. But from a plant. A root. Pressed into a glass and waiting quietly on the shelf. And when you drink it the right way, not randomly, not like soda, but with intention, you give your body what it's been missing: oxygen, nitric oxide, momentum. In this video, I'll show you exactly what it is, why it works, how to use it, and what changes you might notice in just a few short days. Because sometimes, it's not about finding something new, it's about seeing differently something that's been right in front of you all along. Let's begin. It doesn't happen all at once. There's no warning sign. No loud alarm. Just a slow, quiet shift you can't quite explain. At first, it's mornings. You used to wake up with a certain charge, a subtle pressure in your chest, a readiness in your body. Now? You open your eyes, and just lie there. Not tired. Not energized. Just flat. You shuffle to the bathroom, look in the mirror, and think, when did I start looking this tired? Before the day even begins, you try to shake it off. Maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's just getting older, but it doesn't go away. Then you notice other things. You lose interest in the things you used to chase. The little spark between you and your partner? It's dimmer now. Not gone, just unlit. You start sitting more. Talking less. You tell yourself it's peace. But deep down, it feels more like quiet surrender. Your body isn't hurting. But it isn't responding, either. Not to movement. Not to touch. Not to the world around you. And you begin to wonder, is this it? Is this what aging is supposed to feel like? But here's the part no one tells you: you're not the only one. Not even close. I've spoken with hundreds of men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who all describe the same thing. A fading. A soft erasure of the man they used to be. But what if that man isn't gone? What if he's still right there, not erased, just waiting? Waiting for blood to move. Waiting for oxygen to return. Waiting for something, anything, to say, wake up, and that something might just come in a glass. My name is Dr. Catherine Rocker. And I've spent the last 30 years walking beside men who've quietly lost the signal inside their bodies and didn't know how to ask for it back. They came to me not with dramatic complaints, but with subtle admissions. I'm not tired, but I'm not really awake either. I'm here, but not fully present. It's been a long time since I felt like me. Most of these men had tried something already. Some had gone the medical route: testosterone injections, pills, blue tablets. Others turned to herbal blends or energy drinks. They weren't lazy. They weren't looking for shortcuts. They just wanted a way back. A quiet return to the strength they once knew. But what they didn't realize, and what most people don't tell them, is that restoring male vitality isn't about flooding your system with hormones. It's about restoring the conditions where your body remembers how to create that vitality itself. That's why the first thing I ask isn't, what are you taking? It's, what are you drinking in the morning? Because blood flow doesn't begin with medicine. It begins with oxygen. With nitric oxide. With hydration. with rhythm. And one of the most powerful shifts I've seen has come from something so simple, so natural, it's almost been overlooked. A juice. Dark red. Rooted in the earth. And when used correctly, able to reawaken what time, stress, and silence have dulled. I've seen it happen again and again. Not overnight. Not with fireworks. But quietly. Consistently. Like something turning back on. And the story I'm about to share next? It's one of my favorites. Because it didn't just change numbers on a lab test, it brought a man back to himself. Most men think it's about testosterone. Low energy? Must be low T. Low drive? Must be low T. Can't stay focused, present, or connected. Must be low T, but I've seen the labs. I've treated the cases. And here's the truth most people never hear, it's not just about testosterone. It's about flow. Because even if you have testosterone, even if your levels are decent on paper, it can't do its job unless it can move. Hormones travel through your bloodstream. They don't just appear where they're needed. They have to be delivered like messages on a highway. And what happens when those highways, your blood vessels, are narrowed, stiff, or clogged? The messages don't arrive. The reaction doesn't happen. The response you're waiting for never shows up. That's why so many men take testosterone and still feel flat. Still feel foggy. Still feel disconnected from themselves and the people they love. Because the problem isn't just how much testosterone you have. It's how well it's circulating. How well your tissues receive it. How well your body turns that signal into something real. And that, my friend, comes down to one thing: blood flow. After 60, nitric oxide, the molecule that relaxes and opens your blood vessels, drops sharply. That leads to less oxygen in your muscles. Less responsiveness in your organs. Less clarity in your brain. And yes, less strength where it matters most. So if you want to feel like yourself again, you don't just need more testosterone. You need to move it. And the good news? Nature already gave us a way. A root. Pressed into juice. Dark red. Rich in nitrates that help restore nitric oxide and reopen the roads testosterone travels on. This isn't a supplement. It's not a hack. It's a simple, powerful way to bring blood, oxygen, and energy back to the places where you need them most. And now, I want to show you exactly how it worked for one of my patients. A man who had quietly given up until one glass changed everything. Frank was 72 when he told me he felt like a ghost in his own home. He still got up every morning. Still made his coffee. Still read the paper. But something inside him had shut down. He didn't call it depression. Didn't complain about aging. He just said, "There's nothing in the tank anymore, doc. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. I just feel absent." He had stopped trying. Stopped initiating with his wife. Stopped engaging in the small rituals that once made him feel alive. They still lived together. Still talked. But there was distance, not from arguments, but from silence. Frank had tried things before. Some herbal supplements. A prescription or two. Nothing felt right. Everything made him feel off, so I asked him, "What do you drink when you wake up?" "Water," he said. "Sometimes coffee. That's about it." I gave him one small suggestion. No pills. No promises. Just this, 150 milliliters of beetroot juice. Every morning. On an empty stomach. For 14 days. He looked skeptical. "Juice? That's your plan?" I smiled. "Not just juice, a signal." The first week, he felt lighter. He said his head wasn't as foggy. His walks felt smoother. His hands didn't feel as cold. By day 10, something shifted. He woke up with energy he hadn't felt in months. He noticed his breath was deeper. He looked at his wife over breakfast and, for the first time in a while, wanted to say something, anything. Week 3, he came back for a follow-up. He didn't talk numbers. He didn't need to. He just said, I feel like someone plugged me back in, no side effects. No crashes. No dramatic changes. Just a quiet return of blood flow, color, curiosity, and that steady masculine presence that says, I'm here again. And for his wife? She noticed, too. Not just in the bedroom but in his laughter. In the way he stood. In the way he started humming again while making coffee. One small glass. Every morning. Not a fix. A foundation. Frank didn't find a miracle. He found momentum. And that changed everything. So what's really happening when a man like Frank drinks one small glass of beet juice each morning? What is it about this deep red liquid that can turn quiet fatigue into steady fire? Let's break it down. Beetroot is rich in natural dietary nitrates. Not nitrites, not artificial stimulants. Real, plant-based nitrates. When you drink them, your body begins a beautiful chemical process. The nitrates convert slowly and naturally into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your blood vessels, relax. Open, let the blood move. That means more blood to your brain, to your heart, to your muscles, and yes, to the parts of you that respond to presence and desire. Most men over 60 are low in nitric oxide. It's not their fault. It's age. It's diet. It's stress. And it's the slow tightening of the vascular system that no one feels until everything feels slower. Beet juice reverses that. Gently. Predictably. Without side effects. It improves vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels, which lowers blood pressure, boosts stamina, and most importantly, restores responsiveness. Not just in the bedroom, but in your entire presence. Beets also contain betaines, which support liver health and detoxification. That means better hormone balance, better digestion, better clarity. And because they help improve blood flow to the brain, many men report sharper memory, more focus, and less of that walking in a fog feeling by mid-morning. This isn't hype. It's biology. It's circulation. It's a reminder that many of your problems aren't rooted in low testosterone but in low delivery. And when you restore blood flow, you restore the signals that make you feel like yourself again. All from one plant. One glass. Once a day. Beet juice works. But only if you let it. Only if you give it the right timing, the right conditions, and the right respect. Too many men try it once, feel nothing, and walk away saying, doesn't work for me. But when I ask how they used it, the answer almost always reveals the problem. Here are the most common mistakes and how to avoid them. Mistake number 1. Drinking it too late in the day. Beet juice works best when taken in the morning. Why? Because that's when your body naturally produces nitric oxide. You want to support that rhythm, not fight it. Drinking beet juice at night can actually disrupt sleep for some men. It may increase alertness when your body is trying to wind down. Drink it within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. That's your window of power. Mistake number 2. Mixing it with the wrong foods. Some men chase beet juice with bacon and eggs, or mix it into heavy smoothies with dairy or protein powders. That slows down absorption and blunts the vascular effect. Let beet juice stand on its own. At most, add a slice of ginger or half a lemon. Keep it light. Let your body absorb it fast. Mistake number 3. Using the wrong kind of beet juice. Be careful. Many store-bought beet juices are loaded with added sugar, preservatives, or pasteurized to death. That's not the kind Frank drank. You want cold-pressed, 100% beet juice, with no added sweeteners. If you can't find that, you can make it at home with a juicer or high-speed blender. Look for a dark, deep red color. That's where the power is. Mistake number 4. Giving up too soon. Beet juice doesn't hit like coffee. It's not a drug. It's a vascular shift that builds over days. Most men start noticing subtle changes in 5 to 7 days: clearer head, better walks, deeper sleep. By 2 weeks, you may feel morning energy return. By 3 weeks, deeper changes start to surface. So give it time. This is restoration, not stimulation. Mistake number 5. Not listening to your body. If you have low blood pressure, beet juice can make you feel lightheaded. It's rare, but if it happens, lower the dose. Try every other day. Or pair it with a pinch of sea salt and a protein bite. This isn't about pushing through. It's about partnering with your body. The men who get results, they don't take beet juice like medicine. They take it like a morning ritual, a signal to wake up the parts of them they thought were gone. And once that signal becomes consistent, so does the strength that follows. You don't need a complicated plan. You don't need a dozen supplements, or a new gym membership, or another round of prescriptions. You need one small decision, repeated with care. Here's how to start. Each morning, 30 to 60 minutes after waking, pour yourself 150 milliliters of cold-pressed beet juice. Not from concentrate. Not with added sugar. Just 100% beetroot. Drink it slowly. On an empty stomach if you can, or at least before anything heavy. Let the taste be earthy. Let it remind you, this is real. This is natural. This is for you. If you like, you can add a squeeze of lemon for better nitrate activation. A thin slice of fresh ginger for blood flow and gut comfort. That's it. No blending. No overthinking. No turning it into a task. Just a quiet ritual to say to your body, I'm choosing to restore you. Repeat this 3 to 5 times a week. Not every single day. Let your body adjust. Let it respond in rhythm, not in force. After 5 days, pay attention to your walks. Your focus. Your mornings. After 10 days, pay attention to your breath, your skin, your thoughts before breakfast. After 2 weeks, notice what happens when you sit beside your partner, or when you stand and stretch and feel a little more awake in your lower body than you have in months. You're not chasing performance. You're feeding flow. And when flow returns, so does everything else. Not because of a juice. Because of a decision. You haven't lost your strength. You haven't lost your edge. You haven't lost your presence. It's still there. It's been waiting. Quietly. Patiently. Underneath the stillness, the silence, the softness. You're not broken. You're not past your time. You're not fading. You've just been unplugged. The system inside you, the one that responds to life, to connection, to intimacy, didn't vanish. It just went quiet. Because the signals stopped coming. The blood stopped moving. The breath got shallow. The spark went dim. But none of it disappeared. It's all still yours. And when you give your body a reason, even something as simple as a glass of beet juice, to open the flow again, you're not adding something foreign. You're reconnecting with something true. Something that belonged to you long before the medications, before the doubts, before the quiet withdrawal from your own fire. This isn't a comeback story. This is a reconnection story. Because what's most powerful isn't that this juice helps your blood move. It's that your blood, when moving, reminds you who you are. 10. Leave a signal. You're not the only one coming back. If something in this message stirred something in you, if even a small part of you whispered, "That's me," then maybe it's time to send a signal back. Not to the world. Not to anyone else. Just to yourself and to the quiet circle of men who are making their way back too. If you're ready to try this, to return to your body, to your rhythm, to the presence you thought had slipped away, leave a comment below that simply says, "Flow." That's all. One word. A signal. A mark that you're not checked out, you're just choosing to reconnect. And if there's a man you know, a friend, a father, a brother who's been sitting in his silence a little too long, send him this video. Not as advice. As an invitation. Because the truth is, this isn't just about beet juice. It's not even just about blood. It's about connection. About life. About waking up in your own skin and remembering you still matter. That you're still wired for strength, for closeness, for mornings that feel alive again. You're not the only one coming back. And you don't have to come back alone. We're right here with you. Welcome home.